My name is Garrett. I am 20 years old and I suffer from chronic depression and anxiety. I have suffered from chronic depression for between 10 and 11 years now, and generalized anxiety disorder for around 5 or 6 years. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, so I lived there from when I was born until when I was 18 and then moved down here. I have two wonderful, loving parents, and I have two brothers, and I have an older sister as well. I'm in the Child and Youth Care program. This is my first year in Child and Youth Care. I did 2 years of business. I have a goal of making a career where I work with mental health. It's sprouted up as a serious interest of mine in the last year and a half, 2 years-ish. Do you want to go back to school and do my master's in counseling psychology? I've gotten to the point where school is, it's a lot to handle. It gets a bit over-encumbersome after a while. I guess it started when I was in around grade 4, so really early middle school. It seriously started affecting me in grade 5 and grade 6. I was a target of really heavy bullying because I was very, very overweight at that age, and I had a lot of difficulty making friends, and it really started affecting my mood. It's constant ups and downs. I'll feel really great and I'll go out and get a whole bunch done, and some days getting out of bed is tough in itself. I actually only got a formal diagnosis. It was the end of last February, right after my birthday, but I got a very strong idea of what was wrong with me since I was grade 5, 6-ish. I just didn't feel the need. It didn't feel like it was bad enough that I needed help and that I needed to get a diagnosis, or I needed to start prescriptions, or, see counselors or psychologists, psychiatrists. It's really tough for me to seek help personally, at least professional help. I usually prefer to seek help from friends or family. Counseling for me hasn't exactly yielded the best results. I found seeing the doctor I regularly attend to tends to help me a lot more than a counselor. He talks through on a much less personal level with me. So I went through a couple different trial periods with prescriptions. The first one I was on, it helped a lot, I found, but it kept me up at night. I tried this other one. It had pretty much no effect on my mood. I felt like I digressed pretty significantly. The third prescription I was on was finally found a happy medium with no side effects at all. One of my best friends suffers from severe panic disorder and depression. So she, I guess, really understands what I'm going through, which really helps. So I, try to just pick the right friends to talk to, just because I totally understand the stigma behind it, and I felt the same way when people would say I was depressed. I wouldn't know how to talk about it way back when I didn't really think about this kind of stuff. And so I just pick and choose my friends, and even within my family, my mom is a lot more open to talking about this kind of stuff than my dad is. But my mom has always been really, really good with it, because different mental illnesses have fluttered around in her family, like bipolar disorder, depression. I started on my prescription. I started it because I noticed that my mood started to affect other people. For the first 8 or 9 years of struggling with it, it was pretty much completely internalized. Since my mood started getting to the point where I was very irritable, I started arguing with my friends a lot more because I was struggling with depression and anxiety. It really didn't affect anybody else but myself for the first 9 years, and so I figured, now is a good time to turn it around to really help myself, because it's hurting others. So I write a blog that's a self-named blog. It's called Garrett. So I pretty much make everything about myself public on there. I really don't keep any secrets about my mental health on there at all, whether it's on the subject of prescriptions, self-harm, sleepless nights, insomnia, whatever. The whole idea of whether it's dealing with depression with prescriptions or with self-help, there's still that idea that you can just snap out of it, or if you just smile, you'll become happy. If you just make more jokes, depression will just go away. It's really hard because I do advertise my blog. So as soon as people really add me on social media, then they get exposed to all of that. And I've seen it affect some people pretty negatively. They just haven't been open to the whole idea of that's a personal thing. And I find that the replies that I get, the responses that I get from friends or family or just anonymous comments on my blogs, that really helps me keep it going. So I figured if I just keep writing and writing and writing, it makes me feel better. It's on WordPress, sudermanblog.wordpress.com. Like when it comes to mental illness, people ask how I'm doing, I just, say, oh, I'm fine. They're like, don't worry about me, I'm perfectly okay. If somebody wants to reach out to me or ask me if they can help, what I find is if you give yourself up to the other person and just say, like, if you need anything, let me know, and actually act on it, that helps an unbelievable amount. Where 20% of Americans are on antidepressant prescription at some point in their life. In a classroom of 30 people, that's a decent handful. It's something that gets shoved under the rug, but it's something that more people are experiencing than I guess most people realize, at least. It might feel better that day to just stay in bed than to go see a doctor or to go see your counselor or talk to your friend about it. But in the long run, if you want anything to change, you have to be the person to do something about it.